Good morning and welcome to day 3 of competition at the Cancun Grand Prix 2017. 5 more weight categories to bring to you today. 3 men and 2 women. The 2 women's weight categories are the under 78 and the plus 78 kilo category. And the 3 men's categories are the under 90, the under 100 and the plus 100. And to take a look at those 5 weight categories and a few of the names that we may see today, here is Gene Shin. A very good morning to you, Gene.
Good morning, Sheldon. So we're with the big boys and girls today, which always has a soft spot in my heart because that's where I used to play too.
Yeah. Big guy.
And so we're going to start off with under 78 kilos, where we have Mayra Aguiar from Brazil, who is the current world champion and 2-time Olympic bronze medal winner. She is not the first seed because we think that she hasn't been playing as frequently as some of the others, but we think she's definitely the one to watch in that category.
Okay.
Okay, at plus 78 kilos, we've got Ana Maria Valencic, who is an Olympic bronze medalist at the under 78 kilo weight class, and this is her debut at plus 78, so we're going to be interested to see what she does today.
Especially because it has not traditionally been a very strong weight category apart from Cuba, China and Japan. They've kind of ruled the roost. There was this odd situation where the French girl won the heavyweight women's weight category for the first time. It went out of that trio, and we are without a Cuban, Chinese or Japanese. So it's, you know,
up the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You know, the cat's away, isn't it? Right. Okay, that's the plus 78 kilo category.
So moving to the men, under 90 kilos. At the top of the bracket, we have Nicole Sherazadishvili.
That's a tricky Spanish name, that one, yeah.
From Spain, yeah, Sherazadishvili. But we also have a couple of Americans, Matthew Koch and Colton Brown. So I'm going to be looking for those today.
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of Matthew. We'll have to see how he gets on. Nemanja Majdov of Serbia takes to the mat today, and there's Eduardo Bettini down in Pool D from Brazil. They might be worth having a look at as well.
Okay, and then moving to the under 100 kilo category, the current world champion, Luciano Correa from Brazil, is at...
Sorry, those were my 2 mistakes. That I wrote down on the sheet there. The 2 Brazilians, Mayra Aguiar and Luciano Correa. They're both former world champions.
Former world champions.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But world champions nonetheless.
Absolutely, yeah. They've been there.
Luciano Correa from Brazil. But at the top of the number 1 seed coming in today is Jose Armenteros from Cuba.
Going to be hard to beat.
Okay.
I think. L.A. Smith from the United States of America. He's a nice young man.
And Andrew Jacobs as well.
And Peter Palchik of Israel. You've seen the Israelis over a few days, and they are there, aren't they?
They're very powerful.
So
had a very powerful.
We take a look at them. And then we got the plus 100 kilo category.
Plus 100 kilos. It's our smallest. Well, in one sense, it's the smallest, and it's the smallest pool. But of course, these are the biggest players in the tournament. And we've only got 4 names.
Very well put. Yeah.
David Mora from Brazil, Arash Sufiani from the USA, Alex Garcia Mendoza from Cuba, and Francisco Solis from Chile.
So that's not going to detain us too long, the plus 100 kilo category. We're going to start by taking a look at the contests in the under 90 kilo category. Round 1 on mat 2, Zachary Burt of Canada faces Will Cherry of Haiti. It'll be Burt in the white judogi, Cherry in blue.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, sorry about that. I should have put the years in which Correa won his world title, and Aguiar. That would have helped, wouldn't it? Nemanja Majdov is up next on mat number 1. He faces Rufat Ismailov of Azerbaijan. I think that's going to be a terrific battle. Round 1. Just goes to show, if you don't have the protection of seeding, you can just land up anywhere. And Majdov and Ismailov, I think that's going to be a top draw contest for first up.
So as we noted yesterday, the energy and the tenor of competition as you get up in the weight classes really changes. And you can see it very dramatically in these under 90 kilo players. Here's where you get real size and real power, and it just has a big effect on how people move. And yet, you still get big dynamic motions like that. With Bert coming in with a tomonage and really getting some nice elevation on Cherov from Haiti.
I think it's a Y at the end.
Oh, Cherry? Okay.
Yeah.
I need new glasses.
I think I agree. I agree with Gene about this particular weight category, 90 kilos. It just you've moved away from any kind of that lighter or even middleweight. This for me, this is a light heavyweight.
Oh yes, definitely.
100 is heavyweight, and then plus 100 was the super heavyweight.
Right.
So this is the light heavyweight division. But because you're not, a full heavyweight, you've still got speed, but there's plenty of power here. And this, I think, really is, the purest weight, the 90 kilo division.
Oh. So some of the things to look for here are, while the action may not have the quickness or lightness that we were talking about before, it does have a sort of inevitability about it. So once something gets going, it's very difficult to stop. And so you might see more makikomi kind of action today. We were talking about yesterday, where you've got players winding around, winding their opponents around. Okay, there's a really deep Osoto. But unless you get that Kazushi, even with a lot of power, it can be, it's really difficult to move somebody of equal mass. And that just gets emphasized at this, starting here at this weight class.
Oh,
nice
yeah.
drop. Oh, I think he hit his head.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's just upset.
Nah, he's
might be both.
Took a bit of a bang.
Yeah, and I have to look at that Tsutsumi-waza. That was clean. But he got a Wazari for that, and now he's got the Osaikomi. And I don't think Cherry's coming out of that. Nope.
Yeah, unceremoniously dumped there.
So
Zachary Burt goes into round 2. We're not going to hang around here, actually. We're going to go down to mat number 1 right away. There's first round contest in the under 90 kilo category between Victor Ochoa of Mexico. He's up against Bruno Mendonça of Brazil. There's a minute 17 left in the contest. Both fighters have scored once. Ochoa has picked up the single penalty. Let's sit back and see how this one unfolds. Mendonça scored first, and Ochoa came back.
Uchimata.
And he got turned.
Yeah.
For me, he got turned. Mendonça's
Yeah,
looking at
that's
it as
definitely a
well.
turn.
Yeah.
And another Wazari.
And then Ochoa got caught looking at the scoreboard. Don't worry about that. Get away from the danger.
Right.
I
think he might have been worried that it wasn't a bone. So he wanted to see if it was over.
Yeah.
So what happened there is Victor Ochoa, false attack on Mendonça's part. Ochoa came in with an Uchimata, called Ken Uchimata, where you're hopping and trying to get that guy over. And Mendonça did a really nice job of riding it and turning Ochoa onto his own back, using his attack as it's called an Uchimata Sukash. And that's one of the brilliant things about judo is how, even the most committed attack where you're really, really on the edge of disaster, you can still turn it if you know how. You keep your head and you got the training, you could turn it and you can really use that to your own advantage.
Two scores to the Brazilian. Bruno Mendonça sees him through, but it wasn't without incident. He got caught once himself, and there was a time when I thought the Mexican might be able to pull it out. Anyway, Mendonça came back with a second score, and that was enough to take him through to round 2. The second round is effectively the quarter-final, so what we're really saying is it was one round, a quarter-final, semi-final, and then the final. But the upcoming contest is Nemanja Majdov of Serbia. He faces Rufat Ismailov of Azerbaijan. It's Majdov in the white judogi, Ismailov in blue.
So this weight class is actually, it's interesting how they've changed over the years. When I was playing, it was 95 kilos.
That's right, yeah.
But now there's 90 and 100.
Yeah, it used to be 95 and then plus 95. About an extra 5 kilos in there, and I think it should be 86, the weight underneath, 86 and then 95. Yeah, those weight categories were 60, 65, 71, 86, 95 and plus 95. Slight adjustment they made.
So these, oh, nice. Sorry, I was so absorbed in watching.
Right. That was helicopter-like, wasn't it?
So here you've got a good example of these two guys who, you've just got all this power, and yet, as you were saying, when they want to start moving, they can really move, and they're both working for control, and sometimes you can get these big movements, and when one of these guys throws or gets thrown, it's just it's epic. You'll see that over the nose, all day today with weight classes in both men and women. And one thing I'll also say is that, quite often, of course, as old geezers inevitably do, we talk about the good old days of judo. But one thing I'll say about today's athletes is that they're in far better shape. They're in top condition, and they are able to drive the entire match in ways that, I just don't think we did in my time when I was playing. So it's really amazing to see, not just size, but real fitness and real power and speed and ability. Nice Tomonage entry. Yoko Tomonage looked like, and Ismailov just spun out of it in this beautiful, so there you see this really agile cartwheel coming out of a really beautiful throw. Beautiful Tomonage, unlike a lot of the other ones we've seen, which have been, rather shallow and light. So here we have that Kenkayotsu situation again. Both men going for that deep back grip, and because they want to be able to come in and use their hip or their mass like that. Nice Ippon coming in for that. Oh, was it Ippon? Or I guess it was Ozari.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I saw his arm go up. So immediately converts to a Kami Shihogatame. It's an upper four-corner hold, although it's really a variation. His arms are in a slightly unconventional place. And Ismailov feels like, okay, that's a pretty good thing.
One slip. Oops is right. One slip, and Majdov was able to take.
So that was a nice throw. Comes in like a big surigoshi. Steps through, draws him over his hip.
Odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
Odd finish.
It was an odd finish.
Yeah, he doesn't turn to on his right, Ismailov. He comes off on his left. Look.
And he comes right over.
Yeah,
I think he might have been considering trying to, bridge out of that, but he decided, no, I'm just gonna land. I think that could have been an ippon there. He's pretty much landing on his back. His shoulder does hit first, but okay.
Right, we've got Ivan Silva Morales of Cuba up against Matthew Koch of the United States of America. Next, Silva Morales in the white judogi, Koch in blue. We'll stay here and have a look at this. Why not?
Okay, first American of the day. Matthew Koch. Against Cuba. Silva Morales. Okay, and he's got that strong overhand grip. A lot of these bigger players will like that strong overhand grip. You could generate enormous power, and you'll need that when you're facing defensive play. So there's a difference between defensive play and passivity.
Well, the penalties that are close together there.
Right. But they're different calls.
Yes, passivity or non-combativity, and there is a difference.
Right.
You haven't attacked. You are not attacking. Then you get penalized for non-combativity. Passive is when you're not doing anything at all. You're just blocking out. So
right, that's what I would call defensive play.
Yeah.
When you're, so if you're, it's not enough to just, so you can be defensive where you're actively trying to hold the other person, away from you. And then there's a lack of trying to do anything positive.
Yeah.
So you have to be actively working to throw the whole time. You have to actively be working to win the match.
Smith still has time here. He could still come back.
Yeah, he's got over a minute.
Fletcher, however, looks reasonably comfortable at the moment.
Yeah, he's got command of the match. He's setting the pace. He's got the initiative. Okay, now there's a good example of Fletcher being that's pretty defensive. Entirely bent over. There you go.
Yep.
Now he's got a penalty. Okay. But it ate up a few moments. Okay, then coming in for big Sumigaishi and
Picked
getting
up a
the
second
Wazari.
score.
Second Wazari.
It was a second push, really, as well, that brought him the score.
So Fletcher's in that uncomfortable spot where he's both penalized and behind on points, and so he's got to be more aggressive than he probably would like to be. Take bigger risks. And here's Fletcher eating up the clock. So Smith coming in, trying to get that Uchimata, reaching in and trying to drive that leg through, but Fletcher pretty easily stepping around it. Okay. 3 seconds left. Smith driving in strongly, but just not enough. So, good showing for Fletcher, Great Britain. We haven't kept a tally on how the U.S. and Great Britain have done head-to-head.
No, we haven't. We could look at that. I think you may not want to.
Ouch!
But Marty Malloy did take the gold medal, so I'm sure that you head GB as far as the medal table is concerned, because the gold trumps everything else.
Oh, does it?
Oh, I've done it. I promised not to mention Trump, but it's too late now. It's out.
Oh, man.
It's out.
Okay. Well, let's put that away.
It was only in passing.
Okay.
It wasn't anything serious. It was fake.
Thanks so much.
It was a
about
fake.
that
It was a
conversation.
fake mention.
Okay. All right. Coming up, we have the first women's match that we'll see today. Under 78 kilos, Liliana Cardenas from Mexico versus Karen Leon, representing the IJF.
Yeah, let's have a look at Miss Leon. She's been training and practicing with Elvis Mar Rodriguez, the world number 1 at under 70 kilos. They're both from Venezuela. Cardenas is her opponent. Leon, nice left-sided effort there.
Driving. Yeah. I'm just chuckling because, you know, it just, when you get to this size, sometimes people are driving you and you land on your head and you land underneath them and you just shake it off and you get up and it's just powerful, of course. Another thing, I'll say about competitors today is, everything I was saying before about fitness and athleticism is definitely true of the women too.
Yes.
What I see the women competitors do today at every weight class, is just astonishing. We have that Kinkayotsu situation again with Leon taking the left grip, driving Cardenas. They're pretty much trading at this point with each exchange there. So I think there's the third or fourth exchange now. Cardenas had the initiative in the earlier ones, but then Leon has picked it up and she's doing it again here. Okay, but she came in with her hip first, but then Cardenas was able to turn her around. So a lot of these early exchanges can be ways to test your opponent out and see how they're moving on a particular day. Oh, nice! Coming in for a Sewanage and bringing Leon around. Oh! And as they're coming back up, Leon takes Cardenas over. And now in the Osaikomi. In a modified, I'd say, Yokoshi Hogatame.
Yes, I think so.
And Cardenas really trying to get some room there, but Leon doing a good job of adjusting. Nice job. So really good, continuous sequence there.
Mm-hmm. Good goal.
And I think Cardenas might have been caught napping a little bit there. She thought that the exchange was over, and Leon, surprised her with that big lift that brought her over for the Wazari, the initial Wazari. That was a really good turn.
Right, who have we got coming up now? Ivana Sutalo of Croatia faces Sarah Adlington of Great Britain. It will be Sutalo in the white judogi, Adlington and blue. And we can stay here because we're going to have the first of the semi-finals of the plus 100 kilo category next. David Moura of Brazil will face Arash Sufiani of the United States of America. And then we get to see the number 1 seed in the under 90 kilo category, Nicolas Sherazadishvili of Spain. He'll be up against Bruno Mendonça. And then Nemanja Majdov of Serbia will be up against Ivan Silva Morales of Cuba. That's not a bad lineup, is it?
No, not at all.
The only one we're missing is on mat number 2, Ana Maria Valencic. We really want to see her against Rochelle Nunes of Brazil. Maybe that's the only one that we'll jump around for. That's a quarter-final already lined up there.
We have semifinals coming up quickly because the plus 100 is
it's a small category, and the other thing is, they're not that, the numbers simply aren't that big, and we've explained that before, that during this post-Olympic year that they are going to be small. It'll pick up next year, and then it'll absolutely explode the year after that. There will be standing room only here, I'm sure. That's if they come back in a couple of years' time.
That beautiful.
Was nice. Yeah, done.
Nice.
Done.
Okay, so Sarah Adlington, after both being called for passivity, really tried to step in, reached over. Doesn't like the call, though.
Billy Cusack is in the chair. He's signaling Rosari, but Frank Wolf is saying no thanks.
Yep, keep on. So Sarah Adlington reached in. Ivana Sutalo did a nice uranage and just brought Sarah over. Really good throw.
We're going to be done before lunch, you know.
Yeah, I wonder if we could see that again.
That last action. Nice counter.
Yeah, really beautiful. That's a really good demonstration of, you see judo at every level, at every weight class, where somebody comes in and you can really use that to your advantage.
David Moura of Brazil in white, Arash Sufiani of the United States of America in blue.
So these are plus 100, which means that they are over 220 pounds. And nice tomonage. Look at that. Nice. And immediately going into Jijigatame.
That's done. Had to tap out.
He tapped out.
Yeah.
Okay, that took 18 seconds.
Too sharp.
Uh-oh.
Too sharp.
Wonder if it might have caught his arm there.
David Moura just sticking around to see if he was okay.
Yeah.
His opponent.
Yeah, it looks like his shoulder got tweaked.
Yeah.
When you have this much mass going, that can happen.
Yeah, the other thing that you've got here, with the greatest of respect to Arash, is, mismatch, what we're looking at here. You've got a good club player, and he's got to the point where there is not a lot of competition, at the national level. He gets, the badge, he comes to an international, and you're up against someone like David Moura, who's, a world-class heavyweight. You're going to get hurt with those guys.
It's going to, yeah.
You haven't got the same kind of speed. Your body hasn't got the same kind of toughness that has become accustomed to serious hits over a long period of time. You know that. When you're working out, when you're training, you become accustomed to a certain degree of physical impact, and that was a heavy landing.
It's just a little bit. Yeah. It's just a different league.
Nicolas Sherazadishvili of Spain faces Bruno Mendonça of Brazil. It's Sherazadishvili in white, Mendonça in blue, and here's Jean Shin again.
Okay. So, I wonder how tall Sherazadishvili is. Already penalty for Mendonça. Just in the very first few seconds, just in 25 seconds. And sometimes I wonder too, with the different pace that you get at this weight class, I wonder if the referees ever talk about how you judge the pace of a match relative to weight class, because there simply is there's a different pace here. There's significant mass to move, not just in your opponent, but in yourself. Even while these guys can move quickly. Nice deep Ko Chigari drive, but doesn't really trouble Sherazadishvili. See, we saw that a lot. We've seen that a lot over the course of the last couple days, and seeing it again here. Same technique, but it just has a different tenor, a different character. Okay, pulling the hand over the head. Second penalty for Mendonça. He's going to penalize himself out of this match. Both really good upright posture, and so the potential for throw is really enhanced. Both sides. Okay, that's not good. Mendonça just went down to a knee to avoid play, and he could easily have been called for that. Oh, and I think he's going to be. Both players, fix your gis. We must be neat and tidy in judo. Yep. False attack. I would have called it passivity myself for defensiveness, but anyway. So, Sherzadishvili wins the match from Spain. From Spain. Up next, Nemanja Majdov from Serbia versus Silva Morales, the quarterfinaler from Cuba.
How was your first look at Sherzadishvili?
Yeah.
Not a bad boy, eh?
Not bad. You know.
Well, you're going to see Majdov for the second time.
Right.
He's back on the mat. Nemanja Majdov of Serbia. He faces Ivan Silva Morales, I think.
Yep.
Mark
right.
Pickering, the IGF media manager, picked him out this morning. This is a quarterfinal. There's a quarterfinal going on down on mat number 1. I said we would have a look at Anna Maria Valencic, but I think we'll stick here. So Gene, he's going to have a look at Majdov and Silva. He'll commentate on that one, and I'm going to train an eye down on mat number 2 and see what's happening with Nunes and Valencic.
So this is setting a really good pace. Both players coming in, moving really dynamically. Here we have a more conventional grip situation. Not quite Kinkajutsu, but Majdov taking the outside while Morales is working the inside. Both players really using that defensive posture to guard while they're looking for the opening. I think both really, Majdov has got a bit of an edge in terms of attacking, but and so I think Silva Morales is going to have to step up a bit. Oh, that match on that 2 is over already. Let's see who won. Oh, pulling Silva Morales in and trying to get that Sewanage, but there was just too much mass, and Morales was coming around the outside, and he couldn't slow him down enough to catch him for the throw. So, working to get the turn. Morales trying to hang on and not get turned. The aggressive thing to do here would be to turn really hard into it and to really go after Majdov, but by holding out like that, it's giving Majdov a chance to really work on the pin. But okay, and at the last moment he does turn, and that's what breaks it. So that's something that you have to really work on in Newaza. Just like in Tachiwaza, turning somebody's attack to your advantage is really some of the most beautiful judo there is. The same thing is true on the bottom, where if somebody's coming after you and they're working to turn you, one of the best things you can do is not to resist, but to really use it, and to use that opportunity to make an approach of your own. So all that time that Silva Morales, yes, okay, false attack on Majdov. so really, the guy who's been doing the most work in this match so far got the first penalty for a false attack. So all that time that Silva Morales spent resisting that pin, he could have turned quickly and gotten into it. Let's see how this goes. In the last minute, oh, nice action. Majdov coming in and Morales just stepping out of it at the last second. 47 seconds to go. Well, Maidov getting a... Okay, I've been wondering about that. Silva Morales picking up the penalty for not attacking enough, passivity. Not being assertive enough. So he comes in, he's getting his grip settled right away. He's really trying to come in. He's hacking at that leg. Coming outside, then inside. Oh, okay, time's out. But that was smart. Instead of, as we've seen in lots of matches where you've just been penalized and you're feeling some pressure, it's a big mistake to come in and do something desperately, because it just gives your opponent the opportunity to capitalize on that. Perhaps ill-timed or ill-executed technique and just throw you. So he came in, he was doing some low-level ashiwaza, not enough to really affect a throw, of course, but enough to be a threat and to run out the clock. So now we're in golden score. Both players have a Shido. Maidov looking for that big hip throw. He's got that grip low on the torso, so he's coming in with that hip. And, oh, nice. Silva responds with an Uchimata. Again, an Uchimata. Kouchigari. So 3 attacks. 4. Oh, okay. And his coach is going, yay, there's a score. No, there's no score there. Fix your gi. And fixing your gi, no big deal, right? Well, you've been playing for 4.5 minutes. At this level, you are tired, and all of a sudden that gi is really hard to manage. False attack on Maidov, which is a second Shido. And it's kind of an odd call. I don't... He's listening to the commission, and it's the correct call. So Silva Morales gets the win. Okay, next up from Cuba, Jose Armenteros versus Marc Deschênes, the quarterfinal at the under 100 kilos. Deschênes from Canada, Armenteros from Cuba. And remember that if you want to watch any of the other matches, you can always click on the other mat. We're on mat 1. You can click on mat 2. Watch both if you want to open multiple windows. Okay, beautiful, upright, gripping. Really look at the tension in there. They're both saying, I'm going to get this grip. And they're both driving in. Little pull to try and get a little slack. Get that posture, break that posture a little bit. Prepare to attack. Okay, and Deschênes, I think, having a bit of an edge here. He's doing a bit more to work, breaking things down. But Armenteros is clearly a very powerful opponent. Oh, with a big reaching entry over the shoulder, and then that leg coming up and through, trying for the Uchimata. But Deschênes rides it out. Or is it Deschênes? The Canadian rides it out. Second exchange. That was a long exchange. That took a minute, that first exchange. Okay, Again, the Kenkayotsu position. With the Shen having a left-hand grip, but then working on the right. And Armenteros trying a Sewanage. And not doing much, but succeeding in bringing the Canadian down to his knees. And now, okay, not going to work the Newaza. And the Shen gets the passivity, even though, I'm sorry, I just disagree. He's been really working. He hasn't launched things, but he's been really trying to get in. If I were him, I would just keep playing and work to open up Armenteros. Armenteros has had the bigger entries, but I don't see Deschênes as being passive at all here. But Briceno, Chile had a beautiful Uranage, huge elevation, real big drive going down. Okay, so Valenicek weighed in at 78 kilos, which is 187 pounds. Okay, no slouch, strong player.
I want to see where this is going now.
Mackenzie Williams from the U.S. Weighed in at 137.5 kilos.
Which is?
Which is 302 pounds. So 187 to 302 pounds. Just giving up 120 pounds.
How heavy was LT then?
Huh?
How heavy was Lawrence Taylor when he played
I don't know.
middle linebacker for the New York Giants?
I don't know. But 302 pounds is a very respectable mass.
Yeah, that's
oh,
nice. Almost a turn there. Go on.
Right. And that's what Valenicek was facing in that match. And you could see that even despite that weight differential, the judo was excellent. What she was able to do in the presence of that differential was really extraordinary. Was really good. Really good technique, constant movement, constant attacking, good newaza turns. Just excellent judo. Really good showcase of that. And that's why I was enjoying that match so much. Okay, so at under 100 kilos, Thomas Briceno from Chile is really doing a job of not really succumbing to any of Enrique Alcaraz's attacks.
But
but
he does there.
There he goes!
He does there.
As soon as I say it, he gets rolled. Nice Otsuregoshi, I think. Bringing him over for the second Wazari. And now he's shifted to that Ushiro Kezegatame, that reverse scarf hold. And it's still called Kezegatame, even though it doesn't look anything like a scarf. Because your body's in the same position. That's a whole other dissertation I could go into.
Why not?
So there are two main types of pins with body orientation. One is Shihogatame, four corner hold, and then there's a Kezegatame, where your hips you're sitting on the edge of your hip with your legs splayed, and you're side on to your opponent. And for the longest time, your side could only be exposed to your opponent, your back could not. Now with this new pin, with Ushiro Kezegatame, your back can be exposed to your opponent while you're holding it and you're mostly on your hip. The other kind of pin is this Shihogatame orientation, where you are face down on top of your opponent. And you're either to the side or aligned with them, hip to hip, or you're oriented head to head with your hips as far away from them as possible. So those are the two types of pins.
Coming up next, the last of the contests today. It's the second of the semi-finals in the under 100 kilo category. Luciano Correa of Brazil faces Peter Palchik of Israel. It's Correa in the white judogi, Palchik in blue, and the winner of this will face Ben Fletcher of Great Britain in the final.
Okay.
Nice.
And as we saw yesterday,
prospect.
Israel's given a great showing here at the tournament, as has Brazil. So this should be a really good match. You can see them both really good posture. Palchik a little more upright than Correa. Correa's got a bit more of an aggressive stance. Correa's not bent by any means, but he's a little bit more forward. Okay, now they're kind of trading back and forth. Again, the Kinkayotsu situation. Palchik taking the left-handed side. Reaching over strong. Correa doesn't like that, so he goes down, which you can get penalized for. And he just called for false attack. Although, it's kind of... So it's false attack for diving away from a throw, diving away from a grip?
Yeah.
Even though there wasn't an attempt to attack at all, it was just diving away from the grip.
Then the penalty that they employ is a false attack. Yeah.
I would think it would be evasion. There's like
We don't have one. Well, there is. There is this penalty.
Yeah.
They could, I suppose, have given that as well.
Yeah.
Avoiding to take a grip.
Yeah.
They could have given that, yeah.
Because that's what it was. I mean, there's nothing false about it. It was clearly evasion. Okay, so anyway. Okay, so. Oh, nice! Okay, Correa had the strong overhand grip, but Palchik converted this really beautifully into a nice, big circular throw. Sewanage, I think a Sewanage variant. It was a little difficult to make out. Can you see that again? All the gentlemen are fixing their belts. That's what I'm talking about with this kind of weight class. This weight class, you get these nice big throws. See, he's coming around. Yeah, say what? Or sore. Yeah, sore tsurikomi. Really nice.
Now, I don't know whether you've been able to keep up to date any of the sheets in order to have a look at
I've
what
been
we've
glued to the
got.
screen.
Ah, okay. Well, in that case, what we're going to do is we're just going to have a quick wrap-up then, because I haven't been able to fill the sheets out myself. We're going to be back at 5 o'clock, as we have been over the last couple of days. Natalie Powell will face Myra Aguiar in the final of the
That'll be good.
Under 78 kilo category. The plus 78 kilo category will be Ivana Sutalo. She'll go up against, I think it's Rochelle Nunez, if I'm not mistaken, the Brazilian. In the under 90 kilo category, well, I haven't got all the stuff here, but I haven't seen Sherazadishvili defeated.
Nope.
I expect to see him there. And then, who was it down in this half then? Who did you see go up there?
I think it's Batoni.
Right, okay, the Brazilian. And then in the under 100 kilo category, Armenteros, the number 1 seed, went out because he got a hand injury. It was Ben Fletcher to go through from the top half of the draw. And in the bottom half of the draw, we've just seen Peter Palchik of Israel taking the contest. I know that somewhere on our papers we've got the plus 100 kilo category for men, but I think that is David Moura and, well, it wasn't the, or was it the Cuban? The Cuban and the Brazilian.
Garcia Mendoza.
Right, we look forward to your company at 5 o'clock for all the medal matches. It's been a short day.
But exciting.
Yeah, yeah.
Really fun.
And maybe Gene's got something else to say. I didn't realise that. That was really rude of me. Who's your pick for the morning then? Why not? We got time.
Well, you know, I don't know that I can't pull the names quite out the way you can, Sheldon. But you know, I'm really looking forward to the under 100 kilo weight class.
Yeah, Ben Fletcher and Palchik, who we've just seen. I think that'll be a good contest.
That's going to be really
Fletcher's shown us some nice judo. I mean, Armenteros was the former junior world champion, so that's okay. You know, he's no slouch.
And they've had,
say.
The biggest throws and
Aguiar and Powell as
really
well. That
good.
might be a nice matchup.
Yeah. So it's going to be really good this evening.
Right. Okay. Join us again at 5 o'clock. We look forward to your company then. But from Gene, Shin, and myself, it's bye-bye for now.
Okay. See you then.